Hi, it's Mark Coman from Paul's Photo and the Creative Photo Academy, and we're here to talk about lenses. And lenses are the paintbrushes that paint your picture. Lenses are the most important part of your camera bag to make sure that you get the pictures that you want. And one of the lenses everybody asks me about are big telephoto lenses. And we'll talk today about big zoom telephoto lenses. So this happens to be the Canon 100-400. Brand new version, amazing picture quality, super fast focus. What this lens allows me to do is to reach out to distance into the frame. So why do I use a long telephoto zoom lens? Well, we use zoom because we want the lens to be variable. We don't want to have to commit today to our magnification, our focal length, our range, our field of view. So we're going to reach out into the scene. And whether we're going to do this for sports, for wildlife, for nature, for landscape, for any type of reason why we want to get 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 times magnification, that's why we would use a long telephoto zoom. Yes, the lenses are bigger. You have to have a big lens. So when we have a focal length or a zoom range, 100-400, 200-500-ish range, the lens has to be physically larger. Because when this lens is at 400 millimeters, it needs to be 400 millimeters big. When this lens is at 500 millimeters, it needs to be 500 millimeters big. Some people say they're heavy. I don't think it's too heavy, but they're big. Why? Because when we have a 100-400 zoom, it needs to be 400 millimeters. It needs to be 500 millimeters on a 200-500 lens. Why? Optically, that's how it works to get the magnification. And there's no way around it. There's no magic bullet for getting more magnification with a smaller lens. So yes, you have to pay a little bit of money, and yes, you have to carry a bigger, heavier lens. So these are my four favorite, our four most popular here, big telephoto lenses. In the zoom, we have the Sony 100-400, brand new lens, really powerful. The Canon 100-400. Nikon has two, the 80-400 and the 200-500. So why would you choose the 80-400, 100-400 type range? Because for most of us, it goes in our camera kit and mates with our 24-70, 24-120, 24-105, and picks up right where that leaves off. So we can realistically have two lenses, our normal wide angle lens and our big telephoto zoom. Now Nikon brought us the 200-500, which gives us a little bit more range, a little bit less money, but it usually means for most of us we need a third lens. So we need our normal lens, a normal telephoto, and the big telephoto lens. So once again, how do I use these? For distance. If I'm shooting sports, I'm going to get as physically close as I can to the field and then use a big lens to bring me in. For wildlife, I'm going to go as close as safe to go to the animals and then use a big lens to bring them in. Realistically, we use these lenses at the maximum zoom most of the time. Because when I'm out shooting distance, when I'm shooting sailboats or surfing or birds or animals in Africa, I'm zoomed in all the way to get the maximum magnification. Yeah, there are some times when the sailboat comes closer, where the elephant walks closer, and I'm going to zoom the lens back. But most of the time, the lens is way out there. Now, one of the problems with these lenses, to get the magnifications, the lenses are a little heavier. They're 3 to 4 pounds. So I am not able to hold a lens like this up for a whole 2-hour soccer match. I'm not able to hold this lens up for the whole morning of surfing. So what we're going to do is we have a trick to help you get clearer pictures. When I'm shooting with a big telephoto zoom, you have to be careful. There's some things you need to know. Make sure the lens is in autofocus. Make sure your image stabilizer or vibration reduction is turned on. If I'm going to be hand holding, I take the lens and swing the tripod foot out of the way so I'm holding directly onto the lens. Elbows in against my side. My hand outside to support. the lens tight against my eyes. So now I have a good 3-point support. My feet are slightly wider than my shoulders and a little bit of bend in my knees to give a good strong support. I can hold this lens for a couple of pictures, for a half a dozen pictures, for 10 minutes. If I'm shooting a whole morning of surfing, if I'm shooting a whole soccer game, or if I'm for hours watching the lions in Africa, I'm not going to do it that way. So I'm going to turn the lens foot over and I'm going to add a monopod. Now, monopod means one leg, and sure, it's a little bit of something heavy to carry, but what it does for me is makes it so that when I'm holding the lens, I don't have to hold the weight. So now the lens is not hands-free, but I don't have to support the 3 pounds. And I can stand and watch the whole soccer game, photograph the whole surf meet. All of that with the lens on the monopod. And if you noticed, when I loosen here, I can go from landscape to portrait very simply and quickly. That's one of the beauties of using a big telephoto lens that mates with the tripod mount on the lens. That I can easily go from portrait to landscape that quickly. And having a monopod, a good monopod is $70 to $150, so it's not a lot of money, that makes your life a lot easier when you're using a big lens like this. So when you're ready, come on down to Paul's Photo, enjoy the power of a big telephoto lens, and you can do it for a reasonably priced with one of these big zoom lenses. And if you come down this week, because it's Lens of the Week, you'll get a free photo walk when you buy one of these big telephoto zoom lenses when you mention that you saw this video online. So come on down to Paul's Photo. Let us help you with a big telephoto lens. Come on over to the Creative Photo Academy. We'll get you going, we'll teach you, we'll help you, we'll inspire you to get better pictures. Mark Coleman from Paul's Photo and the Creative Photo Academy, wishing you great pictures, and let's go out with our big lens and have some fun today.